John Butler gets relieved. Doesn't take long to get a defensive coordinator. What do you think of Rob Orich so far?
Yeah, I tell you, I didn't know much about him. You know, we'd heard, or people were hoping you look at a Justin Wilcox, maybe a Jim Leonard, the gentleman from Toledo.
Syracuse.
Yes,
right.
then I'm going to. Those are kind of the initial names that people were pretty high on. So didn't know much about Orich, but after doing some research and looking into it, I like the hire. Andrew Marshall was able to give some good detail on what kind of coach he is. He was with him when he was at Idaho a little bit. So I think what I love is the fact that the total points allowed, you know, was in the top 15, top 10.
12.6.
Yeah, top 10.
Game.
In the top 10 in the nation. And most importantly, his defense stopped the run.
Yes.
They stopped the run. They play sound defense. They play very physical up front. This is something Nebraska vastly needs to be in the living in the Big Ten now. And I think he has great energy. He's young, and I think some people, there's a misconception because if he didn't do it at a major conference before, an SEC, AC, Big Ten, that he can't necessarily do it here. I kind of like that. I like guys that come in and have maybe a little chip on their shoulder and just want to have something to prove. But I like the hire, and I fully trust that Matt Rule trusts him and knows exactly what he needs, what he wants in a guy to get this defense turned around.
Be the best the level you're at, and he's been the best level he's at. A lot of talk about a four-man front. I tell people that a 4-2-5 isn't that different as a 3-3-5. It basically is the weak side defensive end is your jack. It's about the same, about a 250-pound guy. But I know people are excited about the four-man idea.
Yeah, I just think it might fit their personnel. You know, when they had Ty Robinson and Nash Hutmacher, the 3-3-5 looked great. But you saw losing those guys, it was a transition this year. They just didn't have the push up front, the edge rush that you wanted to see. They didn't contain the edge well. This move to a 4-2-5, you know, you're going to get Williams Nwaneri and Keona Davis as guys maybe on the outside now. And I know that excites Matt Rule to see just some of the way some of those guys are going to line up differently versus more of a three-man defensive lineman. And look, they did, and Damon has said this many times on the show, they did line up in a lot of four-man front this year, but this would now become the more base look that we've seen, that they'll use moving forward.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you see Davis in the three technique, because I think he can fit and grow into that. On the offensive side, Davin Raiola, of course, was fired, and they went with Jeep Wade, great name, out of Georgia Tech. Thoughts on what you've heard so far about him? And obviously, they've run the heck out of the ball at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, they do, and they've done it in multiple ways. And running the quarterback, King has run the football very well as a quarterback. So I don't know initially if that means Nebraska is going to start utilizing the QB run game more going forward. I'm not forecasting that at all, but I think it's just Nebraska realizes where they're weak at, and they need to get better to compete and get over this hurdle and to be more competitive, not only in the Big Ten, but nationally. You got to be elite on your lines of scrimmage. So they made changes defensively, made changes to the D-line coach, now they made changes to the O-line coach. They got to get better there. And I like what he's done there at Georgia Tech. Not allowing a whole lot of sacks, top 10 in rushing. So there's those things that Nebraska need and want. He fits well for what Nebraska, with Holgerson's offense going forward, being more physical, being more violent, and playing on the opposing team's line of scrimmage.
And he's had success wherever he's been. You know, it's interesting when you look at what they're doing running the ball. Haynes King, I think, has a total of like 31 touchdowns over 3 years. You believe that they're moving towards having more of a running quarterback with this guy?
It's just hard to say till we know about Dylan Raiola's future in the program, but I just think they needed a full change in management. Look, you go 4 years, and there just weren't a lot of high points with the O-line play. I mean, you think about 7 sacks against Michigan, 9 against Minnesota, and you can say, oh, the quarterback.
And only 4 after that, right?
But only 4 after that. But those moments changed the season.
Sure.
The Minnesota game and the Michigan game, 16 sacks. You cannot look past that when you sum up what this season was for Nebraska. Those were some of the lowest sack moment games we've ever seen, especially when you're only playing, like, was it 50-some snaps at Minnesota to give up 9. And I just think Matt Rule's like, look, it's time. We need to go in a different direction. Donovan had 4 years. And, you know, recruiting was not one of his strong suits either. So I do think they're trying to address the recruiting side of the O-line as well.
Yeah, I know he had a 5-star that he was having going to Georgia Tech, so he can obviously recruit. Emmett Johnson last week decided that he's going to go pro. Quick thoughts on losing Emmett?
Yeah, selfishly would love to see him stay, but it makes the most sense for him. You only have so many carries and reps at a back, and his effort and the load he carried this year at Nebraska was big time. But you look the fiscal, the financially. Can Nebraska afford to pay him what he needs? Because essentially rookie contracts now, first-year players, they're making $1 million.
Yep.
So that's hard for Nebraska even to maybe pay him that as a running back coming into his senior year. Plus signing bonuses, he could be anywhere from a third to a fifth round back potentially. So financially, it makes sense. Unless he's running back of the year. He's in the top three running back performances in the nation this year, in my opinion. So unfortunately for Nebraska, but this is the right move to make for Emmett and his future in football.
And it's great timing. He's not going to run a great time, but this is not a great running back year compared to last year. So if he does sign in a fourth round, that you're talking a 4-year contract for about $4 million, you're not going to be able to match that.
Yeah, and even if it was close, I mean, if like NFL money, you still, I think, lean towards the NFL because of the shelf life of that position. But every metric between his receiving yards, his rushing yards, everything he did this year, there's probably never been very many running backs that would have returned, especially him being a fourth-year guy already.
Right. Yeah. Amir came back, obviously, his junior year, but it was a little bit different because he played as a freshman. So that obviously is a little bit different there. Emmett goes, so we turn our attention to the 2026 recruiting class, and we start with, out of the 10 people, the person who may be taking Johnson's spot at some point. Let's talk about Jamal Rule. I love how smooth he is, catches the ball out of the backfield, does a lot of things well.
Yeah, he's 6'1", 205 as well. Had a huge year in Charlotte. And, they were in, Michael and Jay, on some pretty big running backs in this process. Brian Bonner was one, and Rule was the guy that they gravitated towards. E.J. Barthel really liked him from the jump. They only brought in 2 running backs total for official visitors in June. There's a local running back, Nelson Wheeler, going to Illinois.
Yep.
But this was the guy that they wanted. And the numbers that he had a huge senior year. And you look at Jamarian Parker, he's already moved on. There's Emmett's gone. So the opportunity could be there for a guy like Jamal Rule. And we've seen it. Usually with running back, if they're good, like Brandon Jackson, I'll never forget. Day one, when I saw him, I'm like, okay, yep, he's pretty good.
Yep.
And you usually, that's not one where a guy just, like Emmett Johnson's kind of a rarity, where a guy just kind of gets better by the end of his career. But usually at the start, I love
his forward lean. Jordan Mason out of Georgia Tech, who, of course, went on to play in the league, San Francisco and Minnesota Vikings, if you want to check him out. Let's go to tight end. Luke Sorensen, 6'3", 240. He reminds me a little bit of Ben Cotton, the way he blocks. Maybe the first couple of years he's here, he's an inline blocking guy.
Yeah, this guy's a really good get out of California, likes the Penn State, and a lot of the big-time schools were in on him. So I think this was one where you got to replace some talent. Lindemeyer, you have Harburg leaving. So this is a spot where you have to, tight end is so important. We've seen this just across college football in general. This is a really, really good get to go back in the state of California for Nebraska to land Luke Sorensen.
What did they ultimately beat out for him?
I mean, a lot of teams in the West.
A lot of them offered him.
He had several men. He's from Anaheim Servite,
right?
One of the top programs in the country. They play in the Trinity Conference, which is where T.J. Lateef played. It's where Mater Dei is in. So he plays week after week, one of the best true high school leagues in America. Grew up a Husker fan, too. I think that's notable. His family are big-time Husker fans out in California. We know there's a lot of Nebraska fans on the West Coast, and I'm excited about him and what Luke Sorensen's going to bring is with the opportunity there at tight end.
Yeah, no doubt. And what I love about him, though, is he can block, and you come right in as a freshman and block, you're pretty good. Join the receiving room. Let's start with Nayland Scott, Georgia, guy from Georgia, big physical guy who goes up and competes for the ball.
Yeah, they really jumped on Nayland early. Again, receiver was a need where they wanted at least 2. It's not a big class, but 2 of the 10 guys are wide receivers. They just, you look at some of the guys they're going to be losing. Again, there's an opportunity for any of these freshman receivers to possibly get on the field right away. And Nayland Scott comes from a pretty good level of football in Georgia.
Not a ton of speed, but they need guys that can make competitive catches.
They do. They need the big bodies, right? Big catch radiuses, and guys who can go get those 50-50 balls. We saw guys who struggled to get those 50-50 possession balls against Iowa. In the Big Ten Conference, where you're playing long, athletic corners and physical corners, you have to be able to create separation, but also go get those back shoulders and get those 50-50 balls that you have to have a strong at the point of attack and be strong with that catch radius. And Nebraska definitely needs more of these guys.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Drake London because he's not overly fast, but he goes up and gets it. Larry Miles, only a 5'11", 175, out of Florida. Beat out Pitt in Kentucky. Slot guy. Replaced Jake Barney eventually.
Right, and pure speed, a guy that they were on early too. I mean, these were June commits for Nebraska where they had them in on their visits. And when you follow recruiting, June is such a big month now to get your official visitors and land your commits. And he was the other key wide receiver Nebraska was on. And these two stuck with Nebraska really throughout the entire process. I mean, they had teams reaching out to them like every recruit, but he was solid to Nebraska, and they've done a good job in Florida on the staff with some of the connections like Addison Williams and some of the other coaches on this coaching staff.
Yeah, he's more quick than fast. Like in short area quickness. I bet his burst is really good.
Twitchy, right? But not long range speed. But that's all the players I played with from the state of Florida. Twitchy was the best the attribute that you always give to those guys.
Yeah, and once they got fed right, they get big too.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Speaking of big, not many people as big as Claude Mpuma, 6'8", really listed at 308 pounds right now out of Chicago. Only 2 years of playing, but watch him on the basketball court. He's an athlete.
Yeah, and you look at recruits in this class that you maybe go heavier on NIL. I think this is one of them.
Sure.
You can't do it now with all your high school guys, but Mpuma was a priority tackle body. Nebraska needed to get true tackle bodies on this roster. I mean, they've been very good at getting kind of the boxier guard center players, but for whatever reason, the tackle recruiting just has not been at the high school level where it needs to be, and they're really banking on Mpuma out of the Chicago area to be the guy.
You know what I think for a guy who's only played 2 years, I think it takes a while to learn how to be physical because he's played soccer and basketball. You don't find that with him. He drives guys to the ground. He's got a great first strike.
Yeah, it is. And I love the fact multi-sport athletes
Yes.
at the offensive line position, defensive line position. It means you have good feet. You just know how to control your body in space. But yeah, you hit that nail on the head, Michael. It's when young players don't know how to that point of attack and just being that aggressive. He has no issue with that for sure.
Yeah, my cop is completely unfair. It's Jonathan Ogden. I apologize to everyone.
So we got a Hall of Famer.
Got a Hall of Famer already. Hayden Ashworth at 6'5", 305 out of Biloxi, Mississippi. Beat out Ole Miss, UNC for him. He's built like a fire hydrant, basically.
Yeah, and he's young too. I mean, he skipped a year of high school, so he won't enroll early because he still should be a junior in high school. So not only is he got a lot of upside, he's a very young player in terms of just his age. He should be a 2027. He reclassified. Again, this is somebody Nebraska went after right away, and I look at him like Mpuma I mentioned is kind of high value. This is kind of like your undrafted signee. There'll be a lot of recruits you bring in that you don't give big NIL deals to. They just get a standard scholarship. Yeah. And these are the kind of guys that you want to bring in and develop in your program.
Played right tackle, probably moves to guard. You know what he is? Nasty. He puts knees into people. Hip checks people.
And that's something you can't teach. Yeah. You're kind of born with that. You have that chip on your shoulder. And you can definitely work with that. You get these young kids that come in here that have that. It's easier to tell them to turn it down a little bit than to turn it up. So they're going to probably tell him to turn it down a little bit. Otherwise, you could get, you're going to be kicked out a lot of games, some personal fouls potentially.
No doubt. Rex Waterman sounds like an actor from Hollywood. 6'5", 295, another big guy inside. High cut, real high cut. This is another tackle.
He's got the hair too.
Yeah, everything about him looks like he's a superstar out of Hollywood.
No, and again, they really wanted to emphasize getting linemen that they could grow and develop and fit the attributes, and he fits exactly that for what they're trying to build in this program. And every year, ideally, you want, even on a small class, you want to take 3 or 4 O linemen because they're very expensive. If you find a developed lineman in the portal, add a 7th figure to the paycheck.
Yes, yeah. Matt Slauson, my comp.
Matt Slauson
is my comp.
Slaw Daddy. No, he plays with really good technique. You can see those films. I love seeing the back end shots of the offensive line. Good leverage, good hand placement, and he finishes guys. So, and very competitive. Down in Phoenix, that's a high level football. Down in Chandler, so this is a good one. That again, bolstering up that offensive line performance that Nebraska definitely needs.
Going to cornerback, Danny Odom, going to the Navy All-American game. Guy is a composite 4-star. I know one of the services them is a 5-star. He's a ball hawk. He goes and gets it.
Yeah, and you talk about priority kind of first-round picks in the class. This was another one in terms of where they went all in on And they battle. I mean, you mentioned one of the services has him as a 5-star. He's a high 4 consensus overall. The top player in the class in terms of overall ability. And you look at the corner position with what Nebraska loses in Sierra Wright, it's not out of the question that he could contend to play right away as a Husker.
And you mentioned two-sport. As a sophomore, he led his team to district title in basketball. He's like good tackler as well. Mike McKenzie.
Okay.
Green Bay Packers.
I was thinking like Jalen Ramsey.
Ooh, that big. So more you think he moves to safety eventually?
Well, no, when Ramsey played, I mean.
Yeah, but it's almost like a rover. He's kind of like.
I just think he does
everything.
long. It's just long. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where the secondary is going nowadays. It's the long, lean, athletic guys who can run. To me, just looking at some of the initial film, I just see that. I saw like a number 5 for the Dolphins. I know he's not at the Dolphins anymore, but just seems to me that type of player.
So an All-Pro.
Well,
I don't Hall of Famer. Much worse on it. All right, let's go to Jace Reynolds, your local guy, 6'2", the lone recruit from Nebraska, Elkhorn North, 6'2". You can see, though, he can put on some weight. You can see a frame that's going to develop.
And they saw Jace Reynolds in camp after his sophomore year and offered him immediately, and they stuck with the offer. And he's a multi-sport guy, plays basketball. He will not enroll early because he's going to play basketball and be a multi-sport guy for Elkhorn North. But just somebody that they've been behind from the get-go, and he ran extremely well at Nebraska's camp and tested well, and I think that was a big factor with his measurables, why they went with him. And you talk about just one in-state commit. That's happened before. When Sam Cotton was in the class that year, way back when, he was the only in-state guy. So it's not out of the norm to say, oh, there's only one in-state commit.
But back then they had walk-ons.
And they had walk-ons.
And they were in-state walk-ons.
That walk-on class that year was like Brandon Riley and Janovich. And
it was pretty good. All we have left is the kicker. But before I say that, it's important to bring some of these guys in, or Nebraska guys, right? Even if it hasn't worked out, you got to get these guys.
No, without a doubt. And he has the frame, he has athletic ability. Probably not a play right away, but again, you get him in here, you get him in the program, add some weight, get him into special teams, and you develop him that way. Kind of what's been done the old school way. But I like, again, multiple sport athletes.
And he's from Elkhorn.
And he's from Elkhorn. So
good football players come from Elkhorn.
Yeah,
right?
Ben Doris is who I gave for a comp for him. Last recruit, kicker, Michael Sarkisas from Australia. I'm not sure how to say his name, but he's the last guy added to the class.
What's interesting, he's from Pro Kick, and you think Pro Kick is punters. Well, he's a kicker. And it doesn't mean anything about Kyle Cunanan or John Hull. They just wanted to build depth and have another guy for the future, because both Hull and Cunanan are upperclassmen now in terms of age. And so they want to get another guy to develop, and it's purely Mike Eckler. Mike Eckler has the relationships, the contacts with Pro Kick, and things went really well, they thought, with Archie Wilson, and another one of the Pro Kick guys will be in Lincoln as a kicker.
It's funny when you look at this class, it's kind of like going to Trader Joe's. You're only going to pick a few guys that you really need.
Yep.
Minnesota went to Costco and had like 38 guys, but we went to Trader Joe's.
You were very, very specific.
Very select.
You're probably,
gingerbreads.
you're probably you're not going to go there and load up on your meat, your big bulk items. But you're going to go in there, you're going to get your coffees, your specialty items that are, that's really, really good, but you're just not going to go and break the bank there. Because obviously with this small class, I think we know what's coming starting January 2nd.
No doubt.
And with the transfer portal, so they're going to load up there.
Wrapping up the class, let's hear what Coach Rule thinks about his haul.
We wanted players at key positions that we felt like are hard to get in the portal. Like when you look at offensive linemen, you want to continue to grow through high school recruiting, grow your own guys, and then supplement when needed. And so to go out and get 3 offensive linemen, we thought was really key to us. And then we wanted guys we thought would be difference makers. Obviously whether it's a place kicker, this is a windy place, this is a difficult place, and so someone that we thought could contribute. We have a great kicking room, and Eck just wants to continue to bring talent into there. At the wide receiver position, we wanted a big outside guy. And we believe that we got that with Nayland, and we wanted someone with the versatility of Larry who could play inside and outside, and just really competitive. Jamal, we want to run the football. I think we proved this year that a back can be featured here, and so we liked the running back room. And really, Jamal was a premier guy on our board, and we were able to get him. And then hold on to them. We like our tight end room. Matter of fact, I just walked through the indoor, and Luke Lindenmeyer has the tight ends in there, and they're running routes right now. I mean, we have a really good room. And Luke Sorensen, I think Sat did just an absolutely great job on him. Got a guy we targeted, a guy who can play both Y and flex out. So hard to find guys who can do both.
I wish he had just said, with a name like Rule, I had to recruit him. What's your take? I mean, this is a long way away from 2005 giant class. This is a much smaller one.
Yeah, it's incomplete right now because of the portal, and you have to manage your finances a lot differently now if you're Nebraska. So we are
turn out the lights.
Big Red wrap up under dark.
The lights.
I think just in general, you have to manage that money a lot differently.
Yeah.
And you saw some teams decide, like USC, spent millions of dollars to front load pay their high school recruits. You can't do that going forward, but that's what some approaches were different that way. I think Matt Rule's like, look, we already have a big roster, and if we're going to add 10 more plus players, it's going to be probably from the portal.
Yeah, and the way 1890's changing, of course, and everything's coming in-house, too, you better, maybe even better to understand the way you can manage your money a little bit?
Yeah, you're going to have your rev share piece, which for Nebraska moving forward for football will be roughly 15, 16 million. But the big news at the Regents meeting on Friday was the shifting of the Playfly multimedia rights money. Nebraska will earmark about 9 million of the 14 million they get from that to use that now for multimedia NIL legit deals. So that's how you get to 25 million. But even the concerts that Nebraska is going to run, they'll make about $6 million on these 3 concerts. They can do things like have the student athletes market the events, and they can get some of that money that they're going to make off the concert. So Troy Dan and his team are really ahead of the game on this. And 25 million is an extremely healthy number to have right now moving forward in this new set of rules that are going to go into play this year.
No doubt, and eventually they'll get some of that money back from the grandfather people who have season tickets as well, eventually.